Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our video this week. This week is quite interesting. We are dealing with the power of Allah's words, the power of the Quran. And in this video, you will see the sister that I'm treating. I'm reciting on her as part of the ruqya, the recitation of Ayat Alkursi. Ayat Alkursi is the highest, most important ayah in the Quran.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه 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 يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم لا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم ولا يؤوده حفظهما ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he tells us this in the hadiths. And in the hadith, in another hadith, the Sahabi, one of the Sahabas, is actually told by the shaitan himself that if you want to protect yourself, recite Ayat Alkursi. When the Sahabi went to tell Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, he is a liar, but when he told you this, he has said the truth. And because of this, Ayat Alkursi, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us to recite it before we go to bed and blow it over our body. And in the hadith, Rasulullah tells us that it protects us until the morning. Also, Rasulullah's grandson says reciting Ayat Alkursi after each salah protects you from one salah to the other. This ayah is so powerful that you will see in the video what it has made the jinn do. The reactions in this video, although the woman is doing them, but in fact it is the jinn feeling that. The Quran burns the jinn, and this specific ayah of the Quran, Ayat Alkursi, is the most dangerous ayah for the jinn throughout the entire Quran, because it displays the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ever living, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not sleep, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of the heavens and the earths with His might and power. So they have no power against this ayah of lips and chin. Then we notice the nose movement. Then it suddenly erupts into severe crying and shaking of the entire body. So there's, as we can see and hear, and the noise as well, the noise that the woman makes, and again it is made through the woman, but it is the jinn feeling the pain. And you can do an experiment on yourselves. Those of you, alhamdulillah, who are not possessed, read Ayat Alkursi, or tell somebody to read Ayat Alkursi on yourselves. Do you scream when you hear Ayat Alkursi? Do you cry? Does your body twitch? No, it doesn't. This is the evidence of the power of Allah's words upon these evil jinns. Obviously, the kafir ones, not the Muslim ones. The other point to note is that we are dealing with a vicious creature. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created good and bad. And this is to test us. And when you are dealing with a vicious creature, you have to be tough with that creature, because he is the enemy and he has invaded this sister's body by going into it. So you will not deal with them mildly. So the raqi has to show severity and has to show strength in his voice and has to show animosity towards this creature. The raising of the voice is not aimed at the sister, but it is aimed at the jinn within her, or the jinns. Because you can imagine, if a thief comes to your house, well, how are you going to deal with them? Thief breaks into your house and steals things from your house. Are you going to talk nicely to them? Or are you going to defend yourself? And you're going to be harsh and aggressive with that thief? But here, this is worse than a thief. This is an evil being that is invading your entire privacy, stays with you inside your body, in sensitive areas, and causes pain and harm to yourselves for days, for weeks, for months, years, and maybe for decades. And also I'd like to add that although you see the sister crying and her voice, or the volume increases and her whole body shakes, the sister herself does not feel any pain or suffering. It is the jinn that's being suffered because he's burnt by the Quran. And evidence of this is that after the ruqya, the sister talks normally and engages in a conversation and does not feel any pain anywhere. There are two types of possessions. There is full possession, where the person possessed will not feel or remember anything at all of what has happened. There's partial possession, where the person will be able to listen, hear, sometimes interact, and remember some things. But in full possession, the patient cannot remember anything at all. And we will talk more in detail about this point in later videos, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.